Alright, what's up guys? So in this video I want to talk about why I believe still living at your parents' house is keeping you broke, and why if you're 18 or older, I believe you should get out of the house as soon as you can. Because you may think that it takes a lot more than it actually does. You may think that you need to buy a house, you need to have make multiple like $5,000, $10,000 per month to be able to move out or whatever. Like, I don't know what you guys are thinking, but this was kind of my belief when I was around that age. That all changed when I started making money with copywriting and moved to Thailand, Phuket. First, let me talk about why I believe this is so important. Because if you still live at your parents' house, there's many things that are essentially like keeping you broke, right? One thing, 100%, is distraction. Personally, I had the absolute blessing that my dad has an office, right? So I could use this office. I could get away from the noise of being at home. But I know a lot of people, right? A lot of you guys, you live at home and you have siblings that are like young siblings that are running around having fun, being annoying, hitting you on the head and everything. And it's absolutely impossible to work that way, right? I mean, obviously, but that's not the only thing, right? I know a lot of you guys, especially in more Eastern cultures, or maybe South American. I don't know if a lot of South American people watch me, but you're 100% getting chores from your mom, right? Like your mom's probably telling you, like, take the trash out, do this, do that, and you're constantly like being ordered around to do stuff, right? And I'm not saying like that you shouldn't be helpful around the house. That's the issue, right? You should be. But if you are constantly focused on random chores, like, oh, do this, do the dishes, like take the trash out, oh, can you get this from the store for me, etc., etc., and at the same time, when you're trying to work and you're not being ordered around and you have siblings that are like pulling your hair and stuff, it's gonna be impossible to work, man. That is one reason. The second reason is comfort, right? You're too comfortable. All the bills are being paid for you. Food is being put on the table for you. Your clothes are being washed. Everything is already like taken care of, especially when your dad is around the house, right? You're so babied, right? You're so comfortable, and it is true. Like, if you get your own place, it's definitely, you'll have to think of more stuff. You basically, you need to be responsible. You need to be responsible with your finances. You need to be responsible with how you take care of your place, etc., etc. But bro, you need to be, right? That's how you learn. That's how you learn to be an adult, right? And the sooner you do this, if the sooner you become a responsible adult, let's say, you will also become a responsible entrepreneur, right? Because if you're living at home and being irresponsible financially, like I was, then the second you get out of the home, or the second you get some money, like, it's going nowhere, right? That's why I believe, like, even if it's not easy to get out of the house and it's not necessarily like comfortable financially, I do still recommend it, just because it will help you grow up very, very fast. These are the two main reasons why I really, really, really recommend that you get out of the house, right? Because you'll have focus. Nobody's going to be telling you what to do, or going to give you random chores. It's silence. Another good reason, personally for me, which is like very, very, very helpful in terms of productivity, is you can really arrange your entire place according to you, right? You know how, like, at your place also, like, not only are like your meals and stuff, I mean, it's a blessing if your parents are like cooking for you, right? But everything is tailored to you and how you like to go about your day and your routines and everything, which makes everything so much more efficient and also more productive for yourself. But anyway, aside from those reasons, right? You must still think like, "Bruh, but I don't have the money, like I don't have a job, etc., etc." You may think that it's like not attainable at all. Probably your parents, especially if you're from Western households, they'll probably tell you that no, you need to like stay at home and you need to save money, etc., etc. Like, don't. If you're a woman, then yes, I do think that is a more responsible decision. But if you're a young man, then I definitely don't think that is the best option. I think getting out of the house, becoming an adult, is way, way, way more beneficial for you long term. Now, if you have absolutely no income whatsoever, then of course, like obviously, like don't move out. Like it's not even viable, right? I do recommend starting to make some money or get a some type of income, a job, whatever it is, to have a little bit of income coming in, and then yeah, once you have a little bit of security, either like your job is stable enough to be able to afford another place, or you're freelancing or your business is bringing in at least a stable amount of income on a monthly basis, right? That's when I think it's a good time to move out. Now, I definitely do not recommend buying a place. Too much responsibility, too much weight on your shoulders. You're not ready for that. I recommend you just rent. Makes you a lot more flexible. And it's also, yeah, it's a lot more flexible, right? And it's also not as, because, like, to be honest with you, I think it's stupid when you have, like, young people, like, young people that are buying houses. To be honest, I think it's quite retarded, because you're so young, especially when you're, like, 20 or something. You don't even know, like, what you want to do with your life. Right? Maybe you have an idea, but very often you are going to change your mind as you go through your 20s, right? I've not only experienced it, but I've seen it also many times, and it's very, very ugly when you buy a house very young and then you need to sell it. It can turn out pretty bad. So I don't recommend that. Just rent until you figure out, have a more clear path in front of you. Of course, what I did personally, I went to Asia, right? I went to Southeast Asia, and I could do that because my job was online. Now, I know that not all of you guys are able to do that. If you can, then I do recommend it. Southeast Asia is basically just extremely cheap. You know, the lifestyle is extremely cheap. Accommodation, like renting, is extremely cheap. So I think if you're making like 1K per month, I think it's quite viable to come and live here, right? Really, like genuinely, like 1K per month, that's what I recommend. And in terms of like have 1K in savings, and that's, to be honest, that's enough. That's enough to come here and start, you know, grinding your ass off. You don't need more than that. You don't need $10,000 or whatever. You don't need to buy a house. You don't need that, right? If you're going to get a place in either Belgium or I don't know where you guys live, or US, I think it's a little bit harder. When it comes to that, you may have to like get like a super cheap place, or you're gonna have to like get a roommate, but then you get the same problems that I just mentioned, right? With distraction, you cannot design your place well, etc., etc. So I do recommend Southeast Asia a lot if you have the inclination to, right? But either way, my recommendation is to get out of the house for the reasons I already mentioned. Yeah, I'll keep it at this. If this is a topic you guys think is interesting and you want more information, for example, how I did my move to Thailand, the mistakes I made, what I did well, where I recommend you go, what are kind of the pitfalls that you can run into, because there are many pitfalls, let me know in the comments, or just send me a DM on IG and I can talk about that. But for now, I'll just keep it at this. All right, talk to y'all later.